Hi there, I'm Kaylee, licensed counselor and certified career counselor at the Lookout Point. And today I want to offer you some career advice about the interview process. And now I know once we get to that interview piece, there can be a lot of nerves, a lot of uncertainty about how you do that, what you wear, what you ask, how you answer the questions, and all of those pieces. And so I hope that some of these tidbits will be really helpful for you. I also recommend that as you go through this video, if you have other questions, put them at the bottom and I'm happy to answer direct questions, whatever they may be. So the first piece that I think is the most important in preparing for an interview is that when you get in that room, you are connecting with people. And the more that you are connected with the people in that room, the more they're going to like you and the more they're going to remember you when they're considering candidates. So I really want to encourage you that your first goal in that interview is not to prove how good you are at the job, but actually to prove how connected you are to the company already. Once you build that connection with people in the room, and they'll typically make their decisions about if they're going to consider you for the job pretty quickly based on if they like you or not. So make sure that you're smiling, making that good eye contact, all that fun stuff, but also have the body language of being interested. Lean forward when you're talking or listening to them. Smile a lot, of course, and make sure that as you're hearing them, some of the things that they may say, if it feels appropriate, repeat it back to them in kind of a paraphrase way. So if they say, we'd love to hear more about how you show leadership, you might reflect back, yeah, I saw like on your website, leadership is so very important. And so I want to make sure I answer that for you too. And then you continue into answering the question. The other piece that is really I want to oversimplify it in a way, but if you can focus on these two questions as you're answering all of your questions, you're going to have a much higher chance of not only being remembered, but also being asked back for that second interview and so on. And so what you're going to do in a job interview is answer the questions, can you do the job and will you do the job? When you're talking about can you do the job, it's your skills and abilities. You're speaking to your experience in the matter. If it's something that you need growth in, talking about how you know you can still do it because of the ways that you're growing and developing. And then will you do the job is about your commitment to the company. That may come out in talking about your commitment to past jobs. It may come out in talking about the research you've done so far in the company. And then when you get to the end of that interview and they ask you what kind of questions do you have, that's when it's your turn to really dig in and figure out, is this actually the right fit for me? Because in the same way that they are trying to figure out if you're a right fit, it's important to make sure that you like the job too. And so ask the questions that matter to your values. I know I talked last time about values, and that's why I want to talk now about how values play a role in the interview questions. If it's really important to you to have opportunities for advancement, make sure that that's included in your question. How can I grow and develop within this company? What does success look like to you? Questions such as, one of my favorite questions actually to do in a job interview is, how do you define success, or how do you consider somebody succeeding or improving or growing in this job? I recommend using words that are similar to their values. So if they talk about growth, use the word, how do you see someone growing in this job? If they talk about success, how do you see someone succeeding in this job? But ask them to paint a picture of what that looks like. Because as you ask that question, they're also putting you in that, they're remembering you with that conversation about success or growth or whatever it may be. So as you go into that interview, remember, connect with the people, answer the questions. Can I do this job? Will I do this job? And when you follow up at the end, focus on the values that you have and ask questions such as, how might I succeed in this job? Or how do you define this? So that you can get a solid story to them about yourself, that you're a likable person, able and willing to do this job, and focusing on that future development. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have questions, comments, please leave them down below. And until next time, take care.